Have you ever really stopped, and asked yourself, why do some people live extraordinary lives while others simply exist? Why do some wake up every day with fire in their eyes and others shuffle through the hours hoping for something to change, yet never change anything themselves? Let me tell you something remarkable. The difference is not in intelligence. It's not in luck. It's not in who their parents were or where they were born. The difference lies in how they think. You see, the greatest secret, the one every successful person has discovered, is this: we become what we think about. That's right, every great achievement began as a single thought. Every invention, every business, every piece of art, every transformation of a human life, it all started as an idea that someone held in their mind long enough, with enough faith, that it eventually became real. You can trace every success and every failure to a single point, the way a person thinks. We live in a world that reflects our thoughts like a mirror reflects our face. You cannot think defeat and expect victory. You cannot think lack and expect abundance. You cannot think fear and expect peace. You are, this very moment, the sum total of your thoughts up to this point. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your thoughts. That's where all change begins, in the silent workshop of your own mind. Now, I want to give you something you can hold on to, something I call Earl Nightingale's rules. They're not laws written in books, but principles written into the very fabric of life. Ignore them and you drift. Understand them and you rise. Rule number 1, you become what you think about most of the time. Whatever occupies your mind will shape your world. If you think about problems, you'll attract more problems. If you think about opportunities, you'll start to see doors where others only see walls. Your mind is a garden. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. But remember, the soil doesn't care. It will return whatever you plant. So what are you planting? Worry or hope? Fear or faith? Complaints or gratitude? Whatever you feed your mind, that's what will grow. Rule number 2, set a clearly defined goal and write it down. The moment you define what you want, life begins to shape itself around that vision. You've probably noticed that when you decide to buy a certain kind of car, you suddenly start seeing that car everywhere. Why? Because your mind is now tuned to it. The same thing happens with goals. Once you decide what you truly want, not what others expect, not what sounds good, but what sets your soul on fire, your mind begins to seek the people, ideas, and opportunities that lead you there. Most people never decide. They live by chance, not by choice, and chance is a poor master. Rule number 3, act immediately on your ideas. Ideas are perishable. The longer you wait, the weaker they become. Every great achievement started with a person who did something with an idea when it was fresh and alive. The world is full of dreamers who never moved. Don't be one of them. The difference between a wish and a goal is action. Start small, but start now. Take one step, any step, toward your goal today. The momentum you create will do more for you than all the planning in the world. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins not with intention, but with motion. Rule number 4, persist until you succeed. Nothing worthwhile is easy. Every success story you've ever heard began with struggle, with doubt, with setbacks that would have crushed a weaker spirit. But those who win are those who refuse to quit. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. Every time you fail, life is simply testing your commitment. It's asking, do you really want this? Are you willing to grow into the person who can have it? And if your answer is yes, truly yes, then no setback can stop you. Rule number 5, learn something new every single day. Knowledge is the great equalizer. The person who keeps learning, keeps growing, keeps thinking, becomes unstoppable. Most people stop learning the day they leave school. They think education ends with a diploma. But real education never ends. It's a lifelong adventure. You must feed your mind as faithfully as you feed your body. Read books. Listen to great thinkers. Study your craft. The more you learn, the more your mind expands, and the more capable you become of handling the opportunities life offers. Rule number 6, see yourself as the person you want to become. Imagination is the blueprint of the future. You cannot rise higher than the image you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as weak, you'll act weak. If you see yourself as strong, you'll find strength. Change your self-image, and you change your life. Every morning, picture yourself already living the life you desire. Walk, talk, think, and act like that person. When you consistently live in that image, your subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality. and your behavior naturally aligns with it. That's not magic, that's psychology. Rule number 7. Guard your mind as you would guard your most precious possession, because your mind is the most valuable asset you'll ever own. Protect it from negativity, from gossip, from fearmongers and complainers. You become like the people you associate with. If you spend time with those who talk about problems, you'll live in problems. If you spend time with those who talk about ideas, you'll live in possibilities. You cannot afford to fill your mind with garbage and expect brilliance to come out. What goes in must come out. Choose your influences carefully. Your books, your shows, your conversations, your companions, everything you expose yourself to is shaping who you are becoming. Rule number 8, serve others with excellence. You will always be rewarded in proportion to the value you bring to others. If you want to increase your income, increase your service. If you want more respect, give more value. The marketplace does not pay for time, it pays for results. Ask yourself every day, how can I make myself more valuable today? Develop skills that solve real problems for people. When you become indispensable to others, success will chase you. Rule number 9. Expect the best and prepare for it. We attract not what we want, but what we expect. If you expect failure, you'll unconsciously create it. If you expect success, your actions, energy, and focus align to make it happen. Expectation is a magnet. It draws circumstances that match its power. Live with a calm assurance that things will work out for you. That doesn't mean you ignore reality. It means you approach it with faith and discipline, not fear and doubt. When you expect the best and prepare for it, life rarely disappoints you. Rule number 10, never stop believing in yourself. You are far more powerful than you realize. Most people live their entire lives without ever touching the edges of their potential. You have within you the same power that built cities, wrote symphonies, and discovered new worlds. The same energy that fuels stars runs through your veins. You are designed to think, to create, to grow, to contribute. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. And when you stop believing in those limits, they disappear. Now let's return to that first question. Why do some people live extraordinary lives while others don't? The answer is simple yet profound. The extraordinary ones decide to think differently, act differently, live differently. They follow the rules of life that never fail. You can start right now, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, because this moment, this very second, is all you ever truly have. Sit quietly tonight. Take a sheet of paper and write down what you truly want. Not vague wishes, but clear, measurable, definable goals. Read them every day, imagine them, think about them, let them dominate your mind. And then begin to move in faith, in purpose, in action. Do this for 30 days, and you'll begin to notice something extraordinary. Circumstances will begin to bend in your favor. Opportunities will appear that weren't there before. People will come into your life who align with your goal. It will seem as if the universe itself is conspiring to help you, and in a way it is, because when you change your thoughts, you change your vibration. When you change your vibration, you change your reality. The law is simple. As you think, so shall you become. Don't let the simplicity fool you. The simplest truths are the most powerful. They require no permission, no luck, no talent, just awareness and application. You can start today by thinking one positive thought, by taking one small action. By refusing one negative influence, little by little, you'll begin to notice a shift. First in your attitude, then in your results, and eventually in your entire life. Most people never realize that they already hold the key. They look for the secret in others, in systems, in luck, when all along it's been within them. The rules of success are not hidden, they're simply ignored. The mind is the most marvelous mechanism ever created. It can make you a success or a failure depending on how you use it. Treat it like a powerful engine. Direct it toward your goal. Feed it with optimism, steer it with discipline, and it will take you anywhere you wish to go. You are the captain of your soul, the master of your fate, not by chance but by choice. The rules have been written by life itself, and they never change. Follow them, and you will find not only success, but peace, purpose, and a sense of fulfillment that no material thing can match. Because real success is not what you get, but who you become. And it all begins right here, right now, with one simple truth. You become what you think about. And so when you wake up tomorrow morning, before the noise of the world rushes in, take a moment to remember who you are. Not who you've been told to be, not who your circumstances have made you, but who you choose to be. The mind, when calm and directed, can create miracles. You see, most people never realize that their thoughts are builders. Every day, they're building something. A future filled with either success or regret. But only a few stop long enough to look at the blueprint they're following. They wake up one day in a life they didn't design, built by habits they didn't question. and they wonder, how did I get here? The answer is always the same. Thought by thought, choice by choice, day by day. If you think about failure long enough, it becomes your identity. If you think about growth long enough, it becomes your destiny. The mind cannot hold two opposing pictures for long. It will always align itself with one, and that one becomes your reality. So, here's another rule I've learned through observation and experience. Gratitude multiplies everything it touches. When you begin to notice what's good in your life, more good begins to appear. Gratitude turns your focus from what's missing to what's possible. It creates a mental climate that draws opportunity instead of lack. And here's the secret. Gratitude and fear cannot coexist. One will always drive the other away. Every night before you sleep, think of 3 things you're grateful for. Simple things. The roof above your head, the people who care about you, the breath in your lungs. The next morning you'll wake up lighter, clearer, more ready for the day. It's not magic, it's mental alignment. You're training your mind to focus on abundance instead of scarcity. And that brings us to the next rule. Don't chase success. Attract it by the person you become. Most people run after success like it's a finish line. They exhaust themselves trying to find it. When success is not something to find, it's something to attract by growth. The moment you focus on becoming more capable, more disciplined, more valuable, success finds you. You don't have to force it. You simply have to prepare yourself. You don't chase opportunity, you align with it. Because opportunity always seeks the prepared. Every great man or woman you've ever admired became successful because they became the kind of person success was drawn to. They didn't wait for the world to give them permission. They built themselves into someone the world couldn't ignore. That's what you must do. Work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. Become the kind of person whose thoughts, words, and actions align with excellence. Here's another truth. Discipline is freedom. At first that sounds like a contradiction, but think about it. The undisciplined person is a slave to impulse, to comfort, to distraction. The disciplined person, on the other hand, can do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, and that's real freedom. When you can control yourself, you can control your destiny. Every time you resist temptation, every time you choose focus over distraction, you strengthen your character. And character, my friend, is destiny in motion. Now let's talk about something most people misunderstand. Failure. Failure is not the end, it's a teacher. The road to success is paved with lessons that only failure can teach. When you fail, it doesn't mean you've lost. It means you've learned what doesn't work. Every failure carries the seed of equal or greater benefit if you're wise enough to look for it. The key is this. Don't make failure your identity. Make it your instructor. When you fall, don't stay down long. Get up, brush yourself off, and ask, what is this trying to teach me? Every successful person you know has failed. Many times in ways you'll never hear about. But they didn't let failure define them. They let it refine them. Now, here's a thought that can change your life. Whatever you seek is seeking you. When you hold a clear picture of your desire in your mind, when you live with faith and act with purpose, life begins to match your energy. You start meeting the right people. The right ideas come at the right time. Things start falling into place. Not because of luck, but because you've aligned your thoughts with the frequency of success. This is not superstition, it's the law of cause and effect. Every cause produces an effect. Every thought, word, and action sends ripples into the universe that return to you multiplied. You cannot think good and reap bad, nor think bad and reap good. The harvest always matches the seed. So be careful what you think, because you are always planting. Another rule, use your imagination wisely. Imagination is the workshop of the mind where all progress is born. Yet most people use their imagination to worry instead of create. They picture disaster instead of success. And the mind, being obedient, starts creating that picture. Use your imagination as a tool, not a trap. See yourself doing, having, and being all that you desire. Speak it, think it, and act as though it were already true. The mind doesn't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's real. It simply accepts the dominant picture. When you imagine success clearly and consistently, your subconscious begins to guide your behavior toward that picture. You'll find yourself taking the right steps naturally, as if something within you already knows the way. Now remember this one. It might be the most important of all. Don't let fear stop you. Fear is imagination turned against you. It's the mind's way of showing pictures of what could go wrong. But here's the reality. Most of what we fear never happens. The few things that do are rarely as bad as we imagined. Fear loses its power when you face it. Every time you take action in spite of fear, you grow stronger. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. The brave man feels fear just as the coward does. He simply decides to act anyway. So when you feel afraid, that's your signal. You're stepping into growth. You're leaving comfort and entering expansion. That's where life begins to reward you. Another vital rule: keep your word to others and to yourself. Every time you keep a promise, you strengthen your self-trust. Every time you break one, you weaken it. When you say you'll do something and you follow through, you're telling your subconscious mind that you are reliable, that you can be trusted to execute what you decide. That's how confidence is built, not through luck, but through integrity. The most successful people I've known are not those who talk the loudest, but those who do exactly what they say they'll do, long after the excitement has worn off. Now, let's talk about time. The most precious resource you have, time, is the great equalizer. The rich and the poor, the wise and the foolish, the old and the young. We all receive the same 24 hours each day. The difference is in how we use them. Ask yourself often, is this the best use of my time right now? That question alone can double your productivity, sharpen your focus, and remind you of your priorities. Because your time is your life, how you spend it determines who you become. There's one final rule I want to leave with you, and if you understand this one, everything else falls into place. The only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. You don't need to compare your journey with anyone else's. Comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, your focus, and your joy. The only real measure of progress is how far you've come from where you were. If you're even one step better today than you were yesterday, in attitude, in action, in awareness, then you are winning. Keep doing that every day, and soon you'll look back and barely recognize the person you used to be. Success, my friend, is not a single leap. It's a series of small, disciplined steps taken daily toward a worthy goal. And when you look at your life from that perspective, you realize something profound. You are already capable of greatness. You've always been. You just need to think it, believe it, act upon it, and never stop walking toward it. Because the truth has always been this simple. We become what we think about. Think abundance, and abundance will follow. Think health, and health will follow. Think peace, and peace will follow. The rules are timeless, the results are certain, and the choice, as it has always been, is yours.